Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And oopsie doopsie, it looks like Disney hit a wall with AI.
For the same reasons that you've been saying was probably going to be a problem.
I have been saying this for months, okay, as someone who does work with AI on some things. There are absolutely some limitations with it. I think it's a good tool. You cannot use it as a replacement for everybody. It does not replace institutional knowledge. It's horrifying to see people out there being like, oh my God, AI is going to, get rid of doctors. AI is going to get rid of whatever.
I hope not.
I'm like, if the doctor bot is as accurate as the AI I've worked with, there are going to be a lot of deaths on the operating table.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, I don't think we want to go there yet. And I did have a person, I don't think this person was being malicious or anything, but in a previous video, we talked about the dangers of AI with teenagers. They're like, hey, you're like, AI is taking over everything. And then the next video, you're like, AI is not ready for prime time. And I'm going to tell you, it's both. The problem is that AI we have the beginnings of a good tool. It's being hastily implemented, and a lot of these companies are going all in on it, and it is not ready.
So two things can be true at once, basically.
Exactly. And Disney's finding this out. They're going all in on AI. They're like, oh, we're going to AI everything. And then they're like, oh, well, hey, it doesn't do as much as they told us it would. Whoopsie doopsie. I think we're going to see a lot of companies that toss people overboard this year have to hire people back next year or in 2027 when it comes out that, AI is useful. It's just not.
Or, like you talked about in another video, they're just getting rid of people saying it's AI, but they're just trying to get rid of certain people.
And they might hire people back, but those people might not be in this country because they're cheaper.
Well, that also is very true. That's been an issue for years.
So there's something up with it, but we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
If you're looking for more Clownfish TV, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. That's more.clownfishtv.com. Join the reef. So this came through on the Wrap today. Disney's AI ambitions have hit a wall. It said acting and below-the-line talent who oppose AI combined with technical limitations has stalled Disney's efforts.
I think it's more the technical limitations. I mean, you have people that are opposing it, but let's be honest here, they didn't care before. Unless they're blocked because of contracts, they can get rid of you. It's the technical limitations, I think, is more the problem. Or if it's the first part, it's the bad PR associated.
Yeah, I think there are a multitude of issues, but basically I think the cart is getting away from the horse. And I think what's going on is that all these tech companies are over-promising because they're trying to get that venture capital. And I think once people realize that, AI definitely, it's a good tool, but you need to babysit it. I mean, you might be able to use it to do the work of 3 or 4 people, but it can't do everything. It shouldn't be allowed to do everything because it can't be trusted.
What it reminds me of, ironically, is like the Tron Ares movie. Spoiler, but not really a spoiler. So he's trying to pitch this Tron Ares, to all these investors with money. But what he doesn't tell them is after 20 some minutes they disintegrate and fall apart because they look really cool and impressive, but it can't stay. There's no permanence.
Yes.
But they just do it enough to get the money, and then they all leave just in time for it to all fall apart. And they're like, oh, we got to fix that, don't we? Kind of situation.
That is exactly. And I was actually thinking that, too, the other day, surprisingly. I said, it's basically it does enough to look impressive, but it doesn't do enough to be a replacement. It's useful. It's useful as a tool. I mean, it can speed certain processes up or whatever. But even using it just with, writing or fact checking or whatever, we look at it and I'm like, this is wrong and that's wrong and this is wrong.
Even if you generate like clips with it, like for videos, animation and whatnot, a lot of it can't recreate the same character, even if you give it designs repeatedly accurately. There's a lot of issues with it. I just know from what you've told me with you messing around with it and stuff.
Yeah, consistency is a big problem. Fine-tune controls is a huge problem with it right now. I mean, basically what I've seen it do, even with Sora, which is supposed to be like the best one out there, is that it basically just repurposes another clip and then throws certain characters into that clip and then cobbles together like an AI voice. But I mean, I generated a couple clips before and I actually kind of recognize the actors in the clip. And I'm like, because you're just pulling from all these videos. So it's not magic. It will be useful. I think it is useful to a certain degree already. But I mean, if you think you can just, type a couple of prompts in there and get a 2-hour movie out of that.
No.
Even that Coke commercial, they said they had dozens of people working on the Coke holiday commercial, and they had like thousands and thousands of clips they had to go through to find.
Yeah, people hated it. And
usable.
at that point, wouldn't it have been faster just to have the team just animate it from scratch or whatever? It would have been faster and more productive. And then plus it wouldn't have, had the backlash that it did. So you have to pick your battles here. And Disney's finding this out quickly.
Yeah, and I think that they're all telling the investors, oh, we're going to use AI, we're going to maximum profit, we're going to crank out movies faster, we're going to have, AI snippets or shorts on Disney Plus, and this is going to bring value. And then they're like behind the scenes, they're like, oh shit, this isn't.
I mean, for short things are like, some things it will speed it up, but you cannot use it to replace every department, every person at this point. It's just not there.
So I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, we had that drama, and I don't know if the article addresses that because we haven't gotten that far yet, but we had the drama about Moana, and that supposedly there was a shit fit because they were going to do Maui's body with AI or whatever. And I'm wondering if they got into it and they're like, oh yeah, this isn't good because like all the tattoos are different and
it could have been
proportions aren't.
Yeah, it was his cousin or something. Like his cousin was doing his body double when they were going to go put his head. It wasn't that the tattoo so much as it was his cousin. They were going to use his body and then put his head on the body. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, but they could have been changing stuff. I don't know. It was just weird.
So they had this former head of technology from Amazon Studios, and they fired him over the summer. They said Disney cited performance issues for the dismissal, but an individual close to the situation said Stanberry was put in an impossible situation. The pressure to deliver on a short timeline on a goal that was unrealistic and with tech that just isn't ready.
Is this that one they made the whole department up?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So Disney, Bob Iger being a boomer, probably thought, oh, well, we've got AI now. We can just, crank out new Marvel movies every week. Because it's going to save us hundreds of millions of dollars. Investors will like that. The guy's probably like, yeah, no, you still got to have people babysit it. And it's just not ready yet. They said, it just wasn't ready for prime time. Again, I'd like to tell you, somebody who works with it as a creative who works with it, it's not ready for prime time yet. It's a good assistant. It's a good tool. It might.
Even then, it's not always.
No, sometimes it will make you more work. Like you're saying, it might be easier to just animate the stuff than have to hire a bunch of people to sift through 70,000 different clips.
I don't understand. Like to me, it's just faster. You can probably even get smaller teams that are more nimble that can get done fast than doing what way they're doing it. But I digress.
So it also underscores the broader cultural challenges facing Hollywood and traditional media companies when it comes to AI, even as other industries from tech to publishing proceed to incorporate AI to cut costs and replace jobs. Cut costs being the main driver. Media companies have bumped up against numerous roadblocks, including actors reluctant to cooperate with AI models, animators and post-production experts pushing back on change, technological limitations, and legal questions. I think those last two and the jobs, they don't give it. Look, I'm going to be honest. Disney doesn't give a shit what the actors and the animators think. They don't care. They don't care. But they're going to get sued. And they're going to look like idiots for deploying this technology, and it's not ready yet. That they care about. Mm-hmm. They said these elements are slowing down Disney and others at a time when AI companies are racing forward with little care for an ethical approach that considers details like copyright. They said internally it's a cultural resistance, not just within Disney, but all of Hollywood. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just assume that it's morally okay. The technology just isn't there yet. It's not there yet. They're promising someday it will be there. I'm like, yeah, maybe in 20 years, 30 years.
I don't think it's going to take that long, but yeah.
But it's going to take a while because look, I mean, people brought this up in the comments. I actually was on Twitter today. Somebody mentioned Eliza. Eliza was a chat bot that has been around since the early 1980s, and ChatGPT is just a really fancy version of Eliza. And how long did it take for that to, mature into what it is now? And I think there are going to be a lot of roadblocks. See,
the difference is like technologically, it wasn't to a place where it could develop faster, but now we're to a place where it can develop a lot faster. So I do not think it's going to be in the same situation.
10 years, 15 years. Yeah, it's going to be a while yet. I think what's going to happen though is so much stuff is going to get, pardon my French, fucked up because these companies are going to deploy AI and it's not ready yet.
Do it poorly, and it's going to mess.
Poorly.
Yeah, honestly, if you're doing it to say, if you're doing it to because you're trying to like replace people, you'd be better off not, because you probably lose less money that way. Now, if you're using it as an excuse to get rid of people who are problematic, okay, well, that's a different story. But
Yeah. So yeah, they said that there's overhype for AI. Disney set out to be the first in class in innovating the technology. A year ago, they established the Office of Technology Enablement.
Which we talked about.
Yep. This is Jamie Voris, the Chief Technology Officer for Disney, to run the unit. The team had a mandate. They would focus on the potential use of technology like AI and mixed reality to win efficiencies that would boost the bottom line. Oh my God, guys. So creative of Disney. Find creative ways to cook the books.
Creative isn't something I would use with Disney anymore.
The team also had a second mandate: figure out how to do this ethically and responsibly.
Well, that's up for debate, because I would argue ethically you shouldn't be doing any of it. But
I would argue ethically it can be used as a tool. And I think that, as long as people are training it on their own stuff or they have permission, I think that's fine. I think, if you own the characters and there's some way to feed those characters into an AI and work with them more efficiently, I think that that's fine. The way that's being done now, though, is I don't think that's good.
Well, besides the whole job issue, there's the whole issue, like, I don't want to be paying for Disney's AI bills. Because what's going on is everybody else is being handed over higher electric bills to offset the cost of these AI farms and stuff. And how is that ethical or responsible?
Yeah. That's come up too. They're like, whatever gains you have in saving money on people, you're gonna have to spend more in energy costs. So it's, you're not really going to be up any.
No.
So for Disney, the problem's twofold. Okay, from a cultural perspective, many in the acting and the animation communities within the company oppose AI and have been vocal about the issue. They said that certain actors like Scarlett Johansson, James Cameron have warned about its dangers, required the OTE group to tiptoe around their concerns, according to people familiar with the company's AI work. With leadership not looking to ruffle feathers with talent, there's been no champion to get buy-in on AI from the disparate parts of the Disney corporate empire. So if it's like, well, we can't get these big stars anymore because if we start using AI, they're going to not work with us, and what do we do?
And we already know people are already rejecting, like, at Tilly Norwood and stuff like that. Like, they're not going to be signing up for an AI actor.
Yeah, well, they're going to use Tilly, I guess, in a bunch of crap next year. This is everything I've been telling you, right? And this is coming from a guy who actually, as you know, I do like AI. But here it is. Then there were the technical hurdles. For all the promise that generative AI offered, the team realized the technology wasn't quite ready for prime time. After a year of work, Disney found the AI systems didn't meet its standards to replace the pricier aspects of production like visual effects, leaving Bob Iger frustrated with the lack of progress, according to insiders. Anybody who worked with it for more than a week could have told you.
But see, this is once again where Bob Iger isn't a creative. He's just a numbers guy. And he's like, oh, I'm all about creative, but he doesn't understand it. And he goes all in on stuff, not understanding it. I think that's where he's at now. He's like, oh, we're going to do all this because we're Disney and we're going to spend this money and we're going to do it because, we're Disney. And it's like, but he doesn't understand how it actually works.
Yeah, that's just it. He thinks it's magic. The people who don't work with this shit, they think it's magic. And I compared it to computers in the 1980s. People who didn't understand computers, didn't understand how they worked, didn't understand, the limitations of computers, thought it was magic. You look at a lot of TV shows back in the 1980s, and every time a person had a computer, it was doing shit that computers still can't do.
Yeah, well, sometimes they can do it now. Sometimes they can.
Sometimes they can, but it was like, wait a minute. Like, I'm sitting there thinking about, Electric Dreams.
I knew you were going to bring that up. Yeah,
I love that movie. I do.
Really, I did not love that movie. But
there is no way in hell Edgar could do the shit that Edgar was. That was the name of the computer, by the way. You find out right before he dies. Spoiler. But there's no way he could do the shit that he was doing in the movie back then. That just wasn't possible, right? And I mean, this is just one of those things where
some of the stuff can be done now, which is kind of creepy.
Yeah, the controlling the home and the
Yeah, we
electric and
couldn't
all
do
that.
that then, but now they could.
Yeah, now everybody's got smart homes, which I'm going to tell you as a computer guy: do not wire your entire house to the internet for the love of God.
Mm-hmm.
Do not do that because you're just asking for it. You're just asking for it. But yeah, they said that Lionsgate had the same thing, that there was this AI startup runway and they hit a wall. They're like, they've been using it for some stuff, but they can't use it for everything. And I'm like, so it was basically a bunch of boomers who thought they were going to save all kinds of money, getting rid of people. We're going to be first, whatever. And I think as people work with it more, they're going to be like, oh, shit, we just fired somebody that's been doing this for 20 or 30 years, and this shit can't even get basic facts right.
Well, it's pretty bad when the Rap's even calling them out on it.
Yeah. But then there's a culture clash. And again, I mean, that is a whole another argument. The argument I'm trying to make here is that it is the beginnings of a really cool technology, but all this, doomsayers and stuff, they're like, oh my God, the AI is sentient, it's going to kill us all. Having worked with it, I'm like, you'd be fucking lucky if it could just write an article with all the facts correct.
Yeah.
Like it can't do, you'd be lucky if you could generate a movie clip with all the fingers being where they're supposed to be. And
I mean, it can do short clips, but not like, it looks impressive. But when it has to do longer things or it has to do consistent things, it might not work as well.
Yeah. So this guy said it became more about what they won't do versus what they could do. And, and that's what I think the actors and the directors and stuff, they refuse to work with it. I think, and you weren't in on that video. They're talking about Dana Terrace, who was telling people to unsubscribe from Disney Plus, the Owl House creator, pirate the show.
Yeah.
Fuck generative AI. They're mad because they're even putting it on the platform at all. But anybody that's worried about like completely taking their jobs and like pushing you out of the industry, the only people that really have to worry, I think, are assistants at this point.
Or people that have been really obnoxious about, politics and stuff.
Or if you're like a writer and you're just regurgitating press releases and you're not really doing anything original, that kind of stuff can be done with AI. But I'm telling you, it is so far removed from prime time. And I keep up with this shit. I've been watching. I mean, it looks, like you said, it looks impressive, but then you dissect it and you're kind of like, well, one, how many roles did you have to do to get it to that point? And how much was involved in the prompt work and all that shit that normal people won't do. But also how many humans were involved in even the demo, like this Critters movie that's coming out from OpenAI. There's probably gonna be a shit ton of people working on that too.
Probably. They're just different people.
Right. So it's not there yet. I wouldn't worry about it yet, but I think it's very interesting that Disney even is like, oh shit, we're going all in on this and it doesn't work right. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. See also Grok, and I know they talk big about Grok, but Grok thinks I'm a Russian astronomer.
Okay then.
Yeah.
I never asked Grok what it thought about me, so
no. I'm like, hey, what's up with this tweet? And it had me in it. It's like, oh, Kneon, who's actually this, and I forget the guy's name. It's like the real name, whatever, Russian astronomer. I'm like, what the hell? Hell no. It's very easy. Just check the bio. It's not quite there. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.